Huh.
Up, see, here we're back on our Survival Saturday. I'm excited to be back outside, and I'm ready to do some more cold weather camping. So I've been always wanting to test out this gear top tent in the wintertime. Used it a lot in the summer and the fall time, and it worked out really well. And I always thought it would be set up good for a winter because of the way the rainfall sits on it. So I'll be using this to sleep in tonight. It's going to get pretty cold, so we'll see how well it performs. While I'm out here camping, I always like to review some gear and eat some food. So for dinner, I'm actually going to be having Jalapeno Cheese Bacon Burger. I am on keto, so that I'm going to be awesome to cook over the fire, so that'd be dinner. And for breakfast, I'm going to have steak and eggs, which is the Next Mile Meals, my go-to for keto hiking and camping freeze-dried meals. This is a steak omelet with green bell peppers. For the gear, been looking for a good camp pillow. I think I found one. So this is the Teton Sports, the same as my sleeping bag. It's got a camping pillow. I found that. I want to try that out, see how comfortable it is tonight. And for final item, got a Soonfire Tactical flashlight. Want to see how well it does? I'll do a night test on this. It only took one time for me losing my headlamp battery in the middle of the darkness to say, okay, I probably should have a tactical flashlight on me. So I'll be testing this out and see how well it performs. But I gotta get this camp set up. So let's get started. Okay, I got the tent all set up. I'm getting some fresh air. It's been a minute since I set it up, so let it air out for a second. But for those who watched last Survival Saturday, I got an update on the hatchet and axe that I refurbished. Did not see that video, I'll put a link for it now. So, here they are. Got last weekend and burned that fire, got all the cores out, cleaned them up, I sanded up the heads, got new handles installed, and then I put a nice new edge on both of them. So they're pretty sharp. So, and all the stuff is just more stuff that I've learned during this hobby. Never redone an axe or a hatchet. Always wanted to learn how to sharpen knives and axes, and it's a great process and really cool to learn. But I'm gonna test these out when I gather some wood tonight. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish setting up this tent. All right, now I got the tent all set up. I'm gonna set up the sleeping pads. So I got the SE Survival with the thermal side. I'll be putting that up, and then I'll be using the Lyman air mattress. Okay, I went ahead and put in the sleeping bag as well because I want to give it time to air up. These colder sleeping bags work a lot better if you let them air up and fluff up, because when I store it, it's in a compressed bag, and it's like a stuff sack, and you compress it, and you want to make sure that all the insulation gets that air and fluffs up. So now we can talk about the Teton Sports pillow. So it comes in a little stuff sack. It's got the little strap in the back so you can hold it, and it comes in 3 different patterns. I did the pattern that matched my sleeping bag because that's cool, and it's a pretty nice sized pillow. It is a pillowcase, and you actually can wash your pillowcase, so that's a really cool feature. And I mean, it is kind of small, but I'm hoping it'll work good with the sleeping bag, the way it functions as far as the mummy bag kind of wrapping around. That provides cushion as well, because you're basically putting it behind your head and then pulling the cords, and it helps too. So I'll put that in there, be all ready to go. And all the bags, when I'm using a tent like this, I usually put them to the very front or the very back. That way it's all there if I need it, and they're out of the way. All right, we got base camp established. Now I just got to think about a fire. And I'm all about a Siberian log fire. Once you have one of those, I think they're the most effective. They are a lot of work in the beginning, getting all the logs, but got a new axe and a hatchet to try out. So I'll start working on that. Okay, I got the foundation for the Siberian log fire. I'm going to need a really hot base fire because all this wood is wet and frozen. The new axe is working great. Now I'm going to try out the little hatchet to process a bunch of tinder so I can get a really hot fire down there, melt all the snow and wood, and see if we can catch this thing. Always a race with daylight. Little hatchet works great. Big axe works great. I'm very happy with their performance. Now I'm going to start the fire. I'm going to use some homemade fire starter. This is just jute twine dipped in paraffin wax. Just cut a little section off. It's like fire rope. Cut a little section off. You want to get all that kind of hairs, fibers freed up. So it's kind of, it is pretty much waterproof because it's got that wax protecting it, but you gotta get that fibers to expose to get a good ignite with a ferro rod. Once you get all those hairs popping out, you can kind of put it right at the base of where you want to start the fire. Throw a spark on it. All right, let's throw a little spark on it, see what we get. Light it up pretty good. Let it burn for a second. Throw our sticks on it. Now I got a nice fire here. I just got to work the fire down that way, and the same with this way. Just work that fire down. Should be good to go. Now that is one way to build your appetite. Processing all that wood, getting it all set up. It's almost dinner time. Fire's spreading across the bottom, looking good. Now I just got to get some good coals, and it's time to cook. Okay, it's dinner time. I got 2 big burgers I'm going to cook on the fire. I got a broccoli and cheese soup from Minotaur Trading Company, which is keto friendly. I got special thanks to Brian. He hooked me up with a spicy habanero, black truffle, sesame, salt. It's a seasoning I'm going to be using on the burgers. We got some mustard from MRE's, chewed cheese spread with jalapenos from MRE's, some extra virgin olive oil, just to coat the burgers and season them good. I got some bacon from Jack of Trades. That's going to be awesome. I'm going to throw that on a grill. And then some Parm Crisp. I'll be like, that's my chips. They're like a 100% cheese snack, but they're formed like a chip. It's pretty awesome. So I'm going to get these burgers on the grill. All right, just dragged some hot coals out into a little spot. This is a little trick that works good with the Siberian log fire. You can drag the coals out, cook over a fire, and then keep it going. It's time to put the burgers on. We're gonna hit them with a little bit of oil. Now we got the spicy habanero black truffle seasoning. Alright, burgers are about done, and I added the bacon to a little pan, just to pan warm it real quick. We'll go on top of the burgers. Okay, our burger just got done, and our water is ready for our soup. So I'm just going to add it to the cup and give it a stir. Put the top on it. So this is the broccoli and cheese soup. Nice little look to it. Dump it right in there. Has a nice smell. Mix it into the hot water, and I can put the lid on it and let it thicken up. Alright, it's time to start making the burger. So we got the jalapeno cheese spread. I'm going to put that on first. I'm going to hit it with a little bit more of this spicy habanero. Stick it to the cheese. And we can place the bacon. The bacon's nice and warm, but I didn't want to overcook it or anything. It's like regular bacon. It's great. It's like a megabyte without making one. And then I got the little mustard, because I like mustard on my cheeseburgers. Bam. Jalapeno cheese bacon burger. Forgot to open up these. These are like my chips. Nice little crunch. Let's go ahead and give one a try. They're really crunchy, really salty. Like I said, they remind me of potato chips, but they also come in a bunch of different flavors, so that's really cool. Now we're going to try the broccoli and cheese soup. It's looking pretty good. Broccoli reconstituted perfectly. Has a nice bite. It's a creamy cheese. Really good soup. Now, really excited for this. Oh yeah. It's cooled down enough, I think. Let's go ahead and try this out. As I figured, that's downright amazing. It feels like a cheat day without having to cheat. The bacon, the cheese, that nice spicy habanero seasoning has a nice bite to it. Just perfect flavor over the fire. Cannot go wrong with a bacon cheeseburger. But I do want to get a megabyte with this soup because I got a little bit extra bacon. I'm going to throw bacon in this broccoli and cheese because this soup is really good. But these parm crisps are also really good for soups. I mean, they're for salads, soups, or snacks. Give a nice crunch to it with that bacon. And this cheese crunches in there. Let's try that out. Now this was a fantastic dinner by the fire. I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, and then I want to try out that new tactical flashlight. Alright, so I wanted to talk about the tactical flashlight first. This is the Soonfire Tactical Flashlight. It has a belt clip. It is impact resistant, water resistant. This is how you adjust the light. Has like a wrist holder. I put that in there, that way you can put it on your wrist, and if it drops, you're not going to lose it. And then comes with a charger. Actually, I really like this idea. It comes with 2 O-rings and then the little USB like rubber thing that you could lose, and then it comes with a holster. Now, as far as using, has basically a tail switch, and then you adjust the levels by pushing the button on the top. And then this button would actually change color. Right now it's solid blue, meaning it's fully charged. If it started blinking blue, that means it's wearing down. If it starts turns red, then you should charge it, and if it's critical, it'll be blinking red. That means you're going to lose it quick. So we'll do some quick night test and kind of show the levels of light it does. Okay, this is low mode. It's enough light to walk around if you absolutely need it, and it lasts the longest at the setting. And if you jump it up by simply pushing the button, go to like a medium, which is really nice. And then there's a high, really good coverage, and then there's an ultra. And then to me, this is like daylight. But I believe it has a heat sensor and if it starts to overheat, it will actually shut down. So that's pretty interesting. It'll actually reduce brightness if it starts to go over the temperature requirements. And then it goes back to just a low. I take it back up, and then I hold the button. It goes to a strobe effect. And then I hold the button again, it turns it off. So really good light. Like I said, I'm looking for something tough, water resistant, and has a couple options as light. Got the fire all stoked. It's ready for bedtime. Okay, it's bedtime. This tent is working out just like I thought it was. The rain cover seals it up pretty good, and it's actually quite warm in here. Got the heat coming from the fire going in here and just staying in here. So it's actually quite warm. It's about 17 degrees right now, Fahrenheit. So it is pretty cold outside, but I got all my stuff in here. So I got my bibs underneath me, got my coat in here. I got everything that I learned from when I slept in the natural shelter. Everything I needed that froze up, I got that inside here. I got boots. I took the liners out of my boots, and I'm actually wearing them inside the sleeping bag. And that way, when I wake up, I should be able to get up, stay warm, and not have to worry about stuff being frozen. Because it's going to get pretty cold tonight. So, ready to go. But, I guess it's lights out. I'll bring all my electronics in, and then I'll probably sleep with like my chargers and all that stuff in my sleeping bag. That way it stays warm and doesn't get damaged. I guess this lights out. Okay, it's morning time. Definitely got cold last night, but the tent performed like I kind of thought it would with the rain cover. It seals up pretty nice and holds the heat up really good. The fire, like a lot of the heat came in from the fire. The fire stayed going for about till 3 and it died out. All the wood burned really fast. So I got to get some like longer burning wood, like oak. But I just got to be more careful when I select the logs for that Siberian log fire. But now I'm having my coffee. And I was able to make it pretty quick because of all the lessons I've learned so far of cold weather camping. Bringing all the gear in. I had some water. I brought my mess kits. My feet got kind of cold even with the boot felt on. But I did have my bibs and my coat in here. And I was able to stuff them down in the bottom. And that worked to keep my feet warm. I don't know if just maybe some more cover next time if I come out here on the bottom. Because there is a spot where the air vent is, you can't really seal it that good. And I could definitely tell. But it's almost breakfast time. The camp pillow, really, I wish it was a little bit more firm, but for its size, it works really well. Especially, you know, combined with the sleeping bag. Sleeping bag worked great. It's time to bust out that Next Mile Meals steak omelet with green peppers. Really excited to try that out. Okay, it's time for breakfast. We got the Next Mile Meals steak omelet with green bell peppers. And then I have a Mondo drip coffee, Columbia, from Jacket Trades. Thank you very much for that. So I got the water ready to go. Let's go ahead and open this up. We're going to take a look at the ingredients before we add the water. Make sure you get the action tab out. So you got the eggs, green bell peppers, little pieces of cheese in that steak. So I'm really excited for that. As far as nutrition, 480 calories, so not that much. And then its net carb is 5. So 30 grams of fat, and then 38 grams of protein. These always have a good amount of protein in them as well. So let's add the water. It only says 4 ounces of water, but we'll see how it turns out. The 4 ounces. Seal it up, give it a shake, and that's it. And now we can get our drip coffee going. I haven't had the Columbia flavor yet, so I'm excited to try that. I do like Colombian coffee. Love these designs, how you just set it in the cup, get yourself some fresh coffee. Okay, it should be reconstituted and ready to go. Love these quick and easy meals. Go ahead and bust it open and see if it's ready. It's looking real good. I thought it would, like I said, I don't know if 4 ounces of water would be enough, but it looks like it's got a little bit extra. So it's always got to be cautious and trying to figure out what is the correct amount of water. I see the cheese, I see the green bell peppers. Cheese is like melty now. Let's go ahead and give this a try. This is definitely one of my absolute favorite mains from that company now. That is great. They always do a good emphasis on the like a butter flavor in the eggs, and it really, really enhances everything for me. The steak, I was a little bit worried about being chewy. It's got a nice bite to it. Everything reconstituted really well. This is steak and eggs. Great for the trail. I'm going to go ahead and wash it down with this Mondo drip coffee, Columbia. Coffee's very bold, a little bit bitter, but in my opinion, perfect combination with the steak omelet. So, excellent breakfast. I'm going to go ahead and finish this up and we'll talk more on final thoughts. Okay, so final thoughts on the overnight, the gear, and the food. Start off with the overnight. Got to do some more cold weather camping, learning more at each time. Each time I come out here, it's like another lesson. It's all great stuff. Got to use the gear top tent, test that out in the winter. Actually worked out pretty good, a little bit better than expected. The bottom edge, I'd have to worry about that. It's a little bit more air travel through there. It's hard to close off, so I'll probably use some brush or some snow to close that off. But other than that, I was able to stay warm. I built a Siberian log fire. I got to find the right wood for it because it did burn out faster than normal, but that's no big deal. Processed wood with the new axes that I refurbished from the following Saturday, and they actually worked out pretty good. Now, I was a little concerned about the heat messing with the, and there's other concerns about it. I've seen that people are worried about the heat messing with the strength of the metal, so I'll watch out for that. But I was using the larger one as, a wedge and hit it with the smaller one, and it seems to be okay so far, but I'll keep everybody updated on the progress. But it was a really cool lesson learning how to make or refurbish these axe and hatchet, and they worked really good for me. As far as the gear, got the new Teton Sports camp pillow. That thing worked out really well. I wish it was a little bit firm, but I mean, for a camp pillow, you got to look for compact. You don't want to bring a normal pillow and something you can squish down. I'm thinking I can get this in the sleeping bag stuff case, so that way I don't even have to. It's like I have a pillow, but I don't have to worry about another thing to carry. So I'll be trying that out and see how that works out. But overall, it's what I was looking for. Just a little pillow that I could go along these trips. As far as the Soonfire Tactical flashlight, I still got a lot more testing on this, but it'll go on my trips from now on. And it's basically just a backup for my headlamp and, if I need more. But overall, I'm impressed with all the functions and everything that came with. I really like the fact that they sent more O-rings and the little USB cover that you figure you might lose if you're charging and whatnot. So after some more testing, I always provide updates on all the gear that I test. As far as the food, it was a keto weekend. I had the bacon jalapeno cheese burgers. They were fantastic. If you ask me if I had to pick between breakfast, which was better, the steak omelet with green bell peppers or the cheeseburger, bacon cheeseburger, it'd be a tie. They were both fantastic. I mean, having burgers over the fire and putting some bacon and jalapeno cheese spread on them and that seasoning that Brian got me, all worked out great. And had the broccoli and cheese soup, had the mega bite with the bacon and the parm crisp, the cheesy, crunchy cheese. That was a great dinner. And then I woke up, had this real nice and easy steak omelet, and I love steak and eggs, so meals were great. And I just continue learning. I mean, all this is built up and testing for bigger trips. I want to do some big trips, and I got some big trips coming up. Ones where I see some really cold weather, and I've talked about before about catch and cook and all that. So, but every trip is a good time. It's a lesson learned, and what more can you ask for? So that's all I got now. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.